Welcome to video number 2 from a 3-part series I'm calling Film Scoring. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at musicality. 3 questions I kind of want to start off with is, or what I ask myself when I'm about to compose to media, is what fits it? Does it fit the media? And what's the tone of the media? So, when especially kind of composing straight away, if you're not kind of thinking about these 3 questions, then I personally believe that you're not going to do a great job on the film. You're not going to facilitate the needs of the director or the client who you're working with. So within this film, or this short clip I've got here, I know it's a chase scene. So I know it's going to be quite intense. I know that, there's going to be elements where it's going to be fast, it's going to be slow. So I kind of taken that into consideration. I know it's going to be, it's a chase scene, so it's going to be quite kind of on edge. It's not going to be happy. I mean, it could, a happy kind of key could work. However, so because of that reason, why I'm going to be using a minor key. Does it fit the film? I have a lot of problems with does it fit the film, because I end up creating these kind of great compositions, but it doesn't fit the film, so I do have to scrap them or use them in a different piece or a different bit of work. Hans Zimmer, in the documentary I'm watching at the moment, says just scrap what is not needed, even if it's your best work. And at first I thought to myself, you can't really scrap your best work because that'd be a shame, but it's not what you want to do. Obviously, that comes into part of facilitating media, but you're offering, you're kind of supplying the director. It's his vision, or the client if you're doing an advert, but it's his vision, and you have to facilitate his needs. You have to be, that has to be in your mind. It's not what you want to do, because if you do whatever you want to do, then it's not going to be, a great film, and the film could get ruined by it. I think musical theory is a key bit in composing to film and adverts and tracks. On the whole, I've got grade 5 in theory. However, I do forget all the time bits and pieces. So I use a website called AutoChords, and just by clicking on the top here, you can choose whatever style you want. So I want energetic. It's going to be quite a fast scene. I want D, so choose my key, and I want it to be minor. You can also choose if it's flat or sharp. And then you can see all the chords in a key there on the left-hand side, and then it will show you a few progressions if you need a bit of help with that. I use this all the time because for me it's quite hard to memorize every single kind of key and what chords are in them. I also use the harmonic mixing wheel. So if I'm in D minor, I can then go to F major for a key change, or I can go to A minor, or I can go to G minor. So this helps us again as kind of, it's adaptive music that film is. Stuff is going to be changing a lot, so you don't want it to be sounding the same. But I'll come back to that in a second. A scale I've been using recently is the diminished scale. It's also known as the octatonic scale, which is an 8-note scale which is built by stacking diminished 7th chords on top of each other. So diminished chords, or diminished, means making smaller. So what you'll do with a diminished chord is take the major, so for example C major, so that's C, E, G, simple 3-note triad, and then you'll just move your fingers to the left, which will flatten them, so just a semitone to the left. So from going C, E, G, we're now going C, E flat, G flat. And that will work the same with D major. Then going from, we're just going a simple semitone to the left. making it smaller. So this can also be called the half/whole tone scale, or half/whole diminished scale, sorry. So within this, it's a good thing, it's always used in film that I've found recently within my research. And because it's 8 notes, it kind of gives you a bit more variety, I feel. So because it's named the half/whole scale, so let's take D minor for example. We're going to go D, which is obviously the root note. Then we're going to go half tone up to D sharp. Then we're going to go a whole tone to F, half tone to F sharp, whole tone to G sharp, half tone to A, whole tone to B, half tone to C, whole tone to D. Within a point I just missed out, I want to go back to actually, is within major chords you flatten the 5th and the 3rd note. However, with a minor chord, the 3rd's already been flattened. So all we need to do is move the 5th note and make that smaller, so flatten it. So C major, C, E, G. C minor is C, D sharp, G, D sharp, E flat, exactly the same thing there. That's already been flattened, so all we do is move the G to the G flat, and that works with minor. I do find that problem a lot when it's not sounding correct, and that's the reason why. So yeah, within the minor D minor scale, or not the D minor scale, the octatonic scale, sorry, you can just play around with it. Ostinatos are a key thing within chase scenes, so I'm just going to experiment with maybe a 4-note riff. I quite like that tone straight away, the rising up. I'm just going to record that in actually. It doesn't really matter where it is on the score right now. Cue to quantize, double click on it to make sure it's okay, and then we'll have a listen back. Just going to zoom in a little bit, and we're going to make sure the notes are all lined up. Just going to delete those, and then this is the best take that we did from that 4 bar there. Alt and drag the notes. Okay, so we've got a nice little ostinato there, 2-bar ostinato. I'm just going to do Alt and drag again. We're then going to highlight and do Command U to highlight it, so it will just loop. Okay, so I've got the bass here. It's going to go down the octave to make it a bit more bassier. So I think we're going to mimic what kind of the violins are doing here. So going up. So I think we're going to go up, and then we're going to go down, and then we're going to go up again. So we're going to go from the D down to the A, up to the B flat, and then we can end on the C. It's a simple 4 notes again. And I'll just record that in actually. Click on that, Cue to quantize, double click on that. And just, for quickness, just drag over the notes. that sounds quite nice. Obviously, you can go into the sounds and change them. I'm just going to move this over here. Now that quite works. That works, really well. However, I want to be changing key because obviously the scene's changing. The scene's changing, so we kind of want to be adapting to that. I'm just going to go on to the harmonic mixing wheel, and we're going to go down to D minor because that's the key we're in. And we can either go to A minor, G minor, or F major. Then we're going to go F major, as that might work a little bit better. Then we're going to go to auto chords, still keeping the energetic and theme there. We're going to go to F major. So as we can see, we've got very similar chords which are in it, and that's why it's on the harmonic mixing wheel there, because all these keys here are very similar to D minor. Okay, so I think I might just do a 2-note, as this will save us a little bit of time. So instead of going up like this, so instead of the, we might go. And you hear that a lot in films as well, actually. Cues quantized. I'm just going to drag these notes over by Alt and then drag them. And we'll just do a short bar and then repeat that. Okay, and then we'll just get the bass in. Okay, so we're just going to record then. So we started off on the F. You can set the quantize up to 16ths, but we're just going to loop that. Command U. So I'm just going to try that next to the previous. Okay, so that works really well. I didn't have to do a lot. I didn't have to go into crazy theory, just to do a little key change there, as it is very similar. So all I've done today is shown you the octatonic scale / diminished scale, which is used a lot in chase scenes. And I've also kind of briefly touched on the fundamentals of scoring to media. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.